let's talk about goals that you can actually achieve. Maybe you have already, we have the 16th of January, so maybe you've already filled your New Year's resolution. Maybe you just didn't plan it out well enough, but let's figure out how to do that better. And we're not going to wait until next year. We're going to do it now. Let's look at why it went wrong and how we can actually set up a good goal and take a dream and make it into a goal and a plan. Isn't that exciting? I think it's exciting. I am Diana, by the way, and I am a success strategist. So this is part of what I help my clients with. Figure out what's the dream, how can we make it into a goal, and then a plan. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with a few reasons why you might have failed or are in the process of failing that New Year's resolution or any goal you really have set. One thing is that a lot of people set a lot of goals at the same time. I have to admit, I have definitely been, sometimes still am, in that category. I love setting goals. I think goals are fantastic. But if you have too many, it's hard to know where to focus. So that's a focus thing, right? We want to start with one or two goals, preferably one bigger goal, and then we can kind of divide it up. We'll come back to that as well. Another thing that keeps people from reaching their goals and their New Year's resolutions is that they don't recover from setbacks, from maybe they made a mistake. Maybe you set a goal that you wanted it to do something every day, or that you wanted it to eat healthy or sleep 8 hours, and then you missed a meal or you missed a day, and then you're like, okay, fuck it, I already lost. Now there's no reason to move on. And if that is your mindset, I totally understand why you never reach your goals, because the point is that reaching goals there's going to be setbacks along the way. There's no such thing as a perfect plan. I've never, ever, ever seen anyone make a plan and stick to it 100%, because life fucking happens. There's going to be things in between that's going to sidetrack you. There's going to be something that happens that means that you can't do that. And then another thing is also really looking at what are actually achievable goals and what are just totally unrealistic goals. I've set what I call a stretch goal, and there's a lot of stretches in that, and it's probably an unrealistic goal. But the point is, I already know this and I'm aware of that, but I set that goal as a mindfuck to myself. What I mean by that is I set a really pretty unrealistic goal, but my plan is to use that to push me to get further than I would have without that. However, this is also based on where you are in your goal setting process, because we don't want to start with stretch goals. We want to start with goals that will actually create wins for us along the way. And we want to have goals where we don't lose the objective. We don't lose ourselves on the way there because it's too far away. It's too unrealistic. So in the beginning, if you're not super successful with setting goals and actually reaching them, because actually reaching them is the point here, right? Then set smaller goals. Start smaller. And that's okay, because not everything you do in life has to be this big, grandiose thing. It can be small things that help you move in the right direction. You might know about the SMART model. It's a very, very good way to break down your goals and to create great starting point. I have added an A, B, C, and actually also a D today. This is new, but we're going to keep calling it the SMART ABC just to not get confused. So basically, this means that your goal has to be as specific. So it needs to be something that is super detailed in the description. So a goal for me, I've talked about this a few times, is that I want to reach the goal of having 1,000 subscribers on this specific YouTube channel. That is very, very specific, right? It's not specific enough. I have a few things that I can still kind of add on here. Let's do that. I want it done by this date. So I want this done by April 1st. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. The SMART model goes through a few more steps. We want a goal to be measurable, and that it is, right? Because we have the measurement of 1,000. So it's super important. Whenever you have a measurement, it has to be something that's actually measurable, where you can say, did I reach it? Did I not reach it? And it has to be a clear yes or no answer. So did I get 1,000 subscribers? Yes. Woohoo. Amazing. No. Okay. I didn't reach it. But again, this is a stretch goal for me. 1,000 subscribers is a lot, but it's just, again, to think, what is it that can help me get there, right? So a no to this is not necessarily failing, but of course plan in a way that will make us get there. Then we talk about, is this achievable? So before I was talking about one of the traps, which is like having too many goals. So the thing is, if you are spread too thin on your time and energy, then this goal is not probably achievable. Is it achievable with the skills you have, with the path you've chosen in life? So really looking at, is this something that I can actually do? Even it's okay that it's something where you have to press yourself a bit and that you have to actually put in some energy and it's going to be hard along the way. That's fine. But is it achievable for you? Then the R, is this relevant for you? Because the thing is, and from this channel, we're talking about being authentic. So when we set goals, just stopping and thinking, okay, is this something that's actually valuable and relevant to me and to my business, to my potential clients? Or is it really someone else's goal? Is it really that there is this arbitrary thing that everybody else wants to do? If you ask people, how much money do you want to make in a business setting? It's usually also always in the beginning, I want to make $10,000 a month or something like that. It's like, why? Why is that number relevant for you? So figuring out, it's okay to have the same goal as everyone else, by the way. You just need to have the reasoning behind it. So why is this relevant to you specifically, to your business specifically? And then the last thing is the T, the time bound. So for my goal, again, it's like April 1st. That is the time. And this is not like in 3 months. No, because when is that? I want a specific date for this because it's too easy to move things around if we don't have the specific dates. And even for some people and some goals, depending what they are, you can also set time of day on there. Then we go into ABC. So the A is adjustable. Like I was saying, it's like there's no plan, there's perfect. You always, always, always need to be ready to adjust your plan. And this is the point that if life happens, if you fall and get hurt, or all of a sudden you get an invitation to a wedding that's like 2-week vacation in the middle of something, or whatever it is, it can be both positive and negative, of course. But things that you need to adjust to, where it's like, now I might as well just drop my goal. There's no reason for me to continue because I can't no, you don't. You just need to adjust your plan. And having someone help you do this can be a huge benefit. So having a success strategy like myself help you, or having someone in your area or in your life that can help you with these things, are a really good point. We're going to come back to that as well because it's really important actually. So just be aware that adjustability is super important. Then we have the B, which is behavior. And really, that's a fancy way of saying habits. So what habits do you have that are taking away from this goal? What negative habits do you have that will make it harder for you to achieve this goal? Because those you probably want to try and get rid of. And then there's the other part of this is like, what great habits do you already have, but also what great habits can you create that will help you reach that goal? One of the things that I did was that I know myself, right? So I have made a little corner for myself to record these videos because I know I'm not going to get in the habit of recording if I have to set up everything every time I have to record something. So a habit and a visual trigger that, oh, the chair's right there. I shall probably get that video freaking done today. So what are the habits that actually support the goal that you're making? And do you already have those habits, or is that something that you need to also work into your new routine of reaching this goal? There's a few strategies you can use here. One is when you do something, first of all, our mind can be a very, very weird place. So we spend a lot of time putting energy into thinking about something that if we just did it, it would literally take like 2 minutes. So everything you think will be taking under 2 minutes, just do it right away. Just get it over with. So your mind can let go of that. That's one habit that's really, really helpful. Another habit that's really helpful is never skip twice. So that means that if you, like I was saying, adjustability, things happen, right? But if, let's say that you skip your workout or you skip your video or whatever you do, then you never skip the next one. Never skip twice, because then you just know you're being graceful with yourself, that it's okay if you skip once, not in the sense that you're, oh, I'm just going to skip today, but in the sense that it's like, I just can't get this done today. There's something that it just doesn't work today. But then you don't skip the next day. You get back on the horse and you keep working on it. Habit stacking is also a very, very good idea. So with these new habits that we need to create, then figure out what is the habits that you can connect to an old habit that you already have, a good old habit, by the way. So let's say that you need to remember to take your vitamins, then put them next to the coffee maker so that when you make your morning coffee, you notice, oh, vitamins. Yeah, amazing. So kind of stacking two positive things together so that they end up going together until it becomes a habit. And basically, habit is something you do without having to think about it. Okay, the C. I love the C. The C is cheerleaders. I think that it is so fucking important to have cheerleaders in life. And if you watch any of my other content on this channel, you know that my biggest cheerleader is definitely my husband. But it doesn't have to be just your immediate family or your friends. It can also be coaches, consultants, anyone. One of the things that are super important here is that you have cheerleaders that are focused on and know a little bit a lot of time of what it is you want to achieve. So it's someone that can help you get to where you want to go. And you can have cheerleaders that are just pure cheerleaders where they're like, yes, come on, let's go. Amazing. And no matter where you're at, they're just going to be, fuck yeah, you're amazing. Let's do this. And then you can have someone like me who's a bit more, yes, come on, let's fucking do this. But I'm also going to be a sounding board for when things are hard. Like, let's figure out a solution. I will help you figure out how to get past that stumbling block right now. It's also important to mention that cheerleaders can also be, another word for it can be accountability partners. And a lot of times people find a friend or a family member or something and they're going to do something together. And then you're each other's accountability partners or cheerleaders. And that is fucking amazing. The benefit of having someone who you are not their cheerleader as well is that then the focus is 100% on you. And that can be super, super helpful in a business setting or in a situation where you're super serious about your goals, that you're actually paying someone to help you reach those goals that are focused on you, which is the whole point. We want to help you reach your goal, right? So cheerleaders need to have them. And then I said there's also a D, and the D is do it. Let's create the fucking plan. Let's get going and let's start today rather than wait. So there's a lot of things talking about we'll start on the next coming Monday. There's a celebration. There's a move. There's these things that will change your rhythm. That makes it easier to start something new. And yes, but it also gives you time to back out. So instead, let's start today. And I'm going to be very, very annoying and say, I'm going to tell you more about that in the next video tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to actually make that plan, how to create a plan that works for you. So what you can do between today and tomorrow, so you actually start today, is to figure out what is that goal. Go through the SMART model, make it specific, make it measurable, make it achievable, make it relevant, make it time bound, make sure that you have room for and are open for adjustments. Which habits can you remove and implement, and who are your cheerleaders? Because then when you have all of that ready, then we can go into planning it and let's fucking go, right? Let me know in the comments, what is your goal? I would love to know your goal. I can be part of your cheerleading team as well. With all the joy and excitement, I will see you tomorrow for the planning session. It's going to be fucking amazing. See ya.